Meet Anya and Milton, twin calves born on a dairy farm. Once locked in a cage no bigger than the backseat of a car, now they're living a life they almost never got to see.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Catskill Animal Sanctuary. My name is Cameron. We're home to over 150 rescued farmed animals here in the Hudson Valley. Today, I thought it would be pretty fun to introduce you to two of my favorite animal residents, Anya and Milton. They live right in this field standing behind me, so I figured we'd go in and stop and pay a visit to them. Let's go.
On the day we came to rescue these babies, they were only 6 days old. When we arrived at the farm, we saw that their mother was chained by her neck, and these two babies, considered useless, had been stuffed into a small-sized pen. Milton, born a male, was immediately deemed a discard due to not being able to produce milk or have babies. And for Anya, she's what's known as a free martin or an infertile female, which is a common byproduct of twin births of opposite sexes.
So let's break this down. Why couldn't they have been used on the farm? Well, in order to produce milk, which then, of course, humans make into products like cheese or ice cream, a female cow must be made pregnant, then give birth to a baby cow. Then that baby will be taken away from her so that humans can collect the milk that was originally made and intended for the baby. When you think about it, this is actually how all mammals work. The only time we're able to produce milk as mammals is if A, we're a female, and B, we've recently given birth to babies because it's how mothers feed their children, right? This is true of cows, but it's also true of humans, of dogs, of cats, of pigs, of horses. Any mammal that you think of, this is how the biology of it works. In Anya and Milton's case, neither one of them were going to be able to produce the milk that would be profitable for the dairy farm. Had CAS not intervened, it's very likely that Milton would have been sold for veal or sold to a veal farm or veal slaughterhouse, and similarly, Anya would have also been discarded. This is an unfortunately extremely common industry standard and practice in the dairy industry, and many of us are totally unaware of how it works. It's unfortunately not all that different from eating meat because you're still directly contributing to the slaughter of millions of cows. Both types of farming are going to ultimately lead to the same destination, which is cover your ears, the slaughterhouse. When I used to eat cow's milk products, I had no idea that I was contributing directly to the deaths of animals like Anya or Milton. So, if you never knew or thought about the harm of the dairy industry before today, I just want to say that that's okay, and you're here now, which is a huge, huge start. We're taught to not really think about where our food comes from or who might suffer as a result of it. So it took a little time for everyone to adjust to our new arrivals when they finally got here at 6 days old. Hello? So it took a little of time for everyone to adjust to the new arrivals when they got here at 6 days old. They came from a farm where animals are exposed to a variety of different types of illnesses. So to keep our other residents and Anya and Milton safe, they were placed under a strict quarantine period for a couple of months until we could safely confirm that they were free of any diseases or contagious illnesses.
We spent the first 9 months of their care bottle feeding them by hand 3 to 4 times a day, providing them the closest we could get to the proper nutrition needed for these growing animals without having their mama to feed them. Now, bottle feeding calves was super fun and adorable, but it did make us a little sad to know that we would never fully replicate what their mother could have provided for them. Thankfully, with lots of support from our staff and our volunteers, the babies grew into healthy, happy, and well-adjusted residents.
It's been 3.5 years since the rescue, but Anya and Milton are still very much our babies. In fact, they're not even done growing yet. Anya and Milton and other cows like them will continue to grow until they are about 5 years old. We think Milton especially actually has some more growing to do, if you can believe it. He's a pretty big guy already. Anya and Milton live today in the big cow pasture from the time that they were very young. Anya's always been the more brave, more headstrong, maybe a little bit sassy at times sibling, while Milton is very affectionate and sweet, little more passive. Both siblings absolutely adore each other, and one is never too far from another. In fact, let me show you. Milton is right here. So Anya's right here, Milton's right here, never too far away from each other. Anya and Milton's story, unfortunately, is sadly rare. Most calves born into the dairy industry will never get to experience the kind of life that they have here. Millions of female cows like Milton and Anya's mom spend their entire lives on a dairy farm where they are repeatedly, forcibly impregnated, made to give birth to babies that are immediately separated from them and then slaughtered. Once the female cow is considered spent, meaning that she's had too many pregnancies and births, her body can't really handle it the same way they used to be able to handle it, not producing as much milk as they used to be, they will also be slaughtered long before their natural lifespan. This is usually somewhere between the ages of 4 and 6 years old. This is all for the food that isn't even ours to consume. The milk is literally made for baby cows, not humans. Nor is it necessary for us to consume either. You're probably already aware of a variety of different plant-based milks. So if you're interested in trying plant-based milks, I'd recommend that you try a couple different kinds to see which one you prefer. Certain plant-based milks might taste better in certain types of dishes or in your coffee. So definitely give a couple different milks a try. Anya and Milton's lives were saved because someone said yes to them and said yes to compassion. You can also be that someone too. You could come meet Anya and Milton here at Catskill Animal Sanctuary and hundreds of other animals just like them who come from places similar. We're open for public tours every Saturday and Sunday. Or you can also take a look at our website, find out how you can best support our continued rescue and education efforts. But all in all, I hope that Anya and Milton have inspired you a little bit today to take a look at the choices that you're making and see if they're aligned with your personal ethics and beliefs about how we as humans can operate in this world. If you would do me a favor, try a non-dairy milk today for Anya and for Milton and the millions of other cows like them. Through our compassionate and plant-based choices, we can all work together to create a world that all of us would like to see. If you made it to this part of the video, please comment below what type of non-dairy milk is your favorite. I'd love to hear everyone's opinions in the comments section, and I know we could at least name 20 different kinds of non-dairy milk, so I'm excited to hear what your favorites are. If you like these kinds of videos where we sort of walk through and explain and talk about a resident's rescue story and ways we can all help them, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel, or leave your suggestions for other types of content that you would like to see from this channel. And please remember to choose compassion wherever you can. We'll see you next time.